All right, Keson, welcome to Big Conversations by Ordinary People.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We've been planning this for some very good time. I've also been following up on a lot of your work. I saw that other video that sums up all your photography. You know this. You've made a lot of money in this photography thing.
Have I? I don't feel
think.
I've made enough
I think because you've been on every wedding. I don't know. Every big wedding I've seen you take the pictures. What inspires your love for photography?
This dates way back.
Yeah.
The fact that I had this great passion for art, because I did art, O level, A level. Well, I wanted to opt for it at campus, but I didn't happen to get the chance, and I went to do statistics, but still, the passion was always pulling me to the other side.
To the camera.
Yeah. No, not necessarily to the camera, to art, but then when I got
Do you
the
like
camera,
draw?
you actually do, but it's been a long while, like 5 years now without drawing. Yes.
I also feel like we as a generation are so much ignoring this type of the art in general. Yet it's producing a lot of money. Besides normal, because when you look at the lawyers, they're complaining, engineers are complaining. The ones in our generation, they spend most of their time complaining about, of course, experiences and how they're remunerated less money. But yet art, I don't know in your opinion, I don't know if it's making. Yet people I know that are skilled in art make almost what people in professional courses get.
Because you see, art is way huge, and this is something that touches emotions, therapy itself. So, and these are things literally everyone deals with. You see, imagine if the world didn't have music. Imagine the world didn't have cartoons. Imagine the world didn't have anything to do with art.
Yeah.
It would be a depressed world. Yeah, but you see, and something we can't do without. And then when it comes to photography, it's just, I don't know, way big and something we cannot do without. For instance, have you had a thought that you move out and you don't see an image anywhere? No.
An
So you
image,
see-
like let's say a tree, a car.
To the extent when you see it so beautiful and you just want to take a photo.
That's right.
So imagine. Yeah, and also photography is, I feel now it's more of a necessity when
Also.
it comes to visualization. Like imagine a billboard with no photo. It's very rare. You understand?
Yeah.
And I feel photography as an art depicts a whole lot of message. You know, you've heard that saying where they say a picture of that, you know,
Tells-
1,000 words. You
Yes,
understand? Just look at the
definitely.
picture and then
you create memories for
so
people.
you see, yeah. So when you want to relate to these other careers like engineers, what, well, they are needed, but photos are also needed.
True, I personally believe they're needed, and my point to the engineers is that a lot more people actually miss out on the beauty of art, because art is big, yeah? It's broad. What we're doing is actually art as well, the content creation and what behind this photography. People miss out on just these skills you can just develop from like childhood, and then they're hell bent into all these complex things. And probably someone like you who's a statistician and ended up behind the camera.
There's a story to that, you know.
That is exactly why you're here. So that was going to be my next thing. How do you now jump away from statistics to really take this art thing?
You see, I don't know if it's all African parents.
Yeah.
And I imagine they tell your parent, or you tell your parent, you're not going to do that whole thing you studied for. You're going to opt for photography. Imagine. Their thought is a cameraman.
Yeah.
We all know about the traditional cameraman, honestly.
What is it that? Okay,
yeah, you understand when I talk about
yes,
that.
yes,
you know,
yes.
when you're growing up, it used to be this guy who comes
comes.
home, takes a photo, and continues. I didn't like the way they used to dress and all that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see myself being like that. You understand? So imagine, personally, I felt that way. Now, how about our parents who are old enough to see that? And then when you wake up one morning and tell them you're going to be a photographer. Honestly. Yeah, but of course, with time, everything evolves. We're not like the traditional cameraman. Understand? And of course, when you see when parents see you get to the other level where they don't see you as a cameraman, of course they have to appreciate. But me personally, I don't know, this 9 to 5 thing used to frustrate me so much.
So you first ventured into, you
quite
got down and did statistics.
Yeah, there's a consultancy firm. I used to do work as a research assistant. But I didn't like it. I don't know, so much was needed of me. I wasn't even happy. I felt I wasn't, really productive and helpful to society to some point. And I remember I was doing that whilst having this whole, photography thing, because I think I started while at campus, and I could see myself like growing like very fast in this career, like of photography. Well, I could, juggle school and photo, if I had a gig, stuff like that. And I feel like it's if I actually give it so much, of course you have school. Your parents are paying this lot of money, tuition and all that, so you cannot disappoint. But you still have something at heart you really want to chase. So it was more like juggling this and this and that. And then, of course, get done with campus. Then, of course, you're like, let me go into employment. You know that excitement, but you get there 1 month, 2 months, 3 months.
And it's terrible. You see.
And of course, this is a job where you cannot moonlight. Like, and so you get a gig and you cannot go there because you have this traditional,
thing.
Job. So until I had to think through it, and I'm like, no, I have to pick one of the two. And of course, being a photographer one.
Interesting. So now you as a photographer, what are some of those basics? Because I'm also now trying to really become a photographer. Not like it's a niche or something I want to specific, but because I have the equipment next to me, and it's a necessity. I take pictures of my colleague hosting every day, and I'm trying to make them better every other day. Now, what are those basics you'd want me and any other guys? I know for a fact there was a time in 2018 where almost everyone was becoming a photographer.
It used to kill me so much. Everyone, you're on tier,
exactly.
And in everyone's bio, there's something like photographer. Like, okay. Then, of course,
fancy.
Me as a person who wanted to, who ventured into photography, that gets me to, check through your timeline to see if there are dope images, and then you don't see anything, and you're like, okay, why does this person have it? Or maybe you're like, maybe they have an IG,
Let me go check it through.
And still there's nothing. They're like, no more home pictures. And you're like, I don't understand what kind of photography this one does. And then So
what kind of photography do people do? Maybe you should put it in silence or something.
Okay, sorry. Me, photography has a lot of technicality itself. But me, when I started out, I didn't focus on this whole camera thing. Me, I would actually see a photo, I'm like, I can take it this way. You see, I would see someone take a photo, but me, I'm like, I wish I do it this other way. When I saw a photo, I'm like, maybe you should have done this angle. I didn't know that technicality was when you're doing photography or having a camera, you have aperture, you have shutter speed, you have ISO. No, I didn't know that stuff. All I know is this photo was supposed to be, it was more of composition, like as an artist,
True.
So it was more based to the art side, not to do with that whole camera.
So you didn't even do any school on photography or what? You just had this passion, besides the fact that you've offered art and all this stuff?
Well, of course, as an artist, when you're an artist, you look at something, you're like, if I do this, if I do that, you all have those things popping to your head. But when it comes to photography, it's not just the composition itself. What camera do you have? What do you want to see the photo? How do you want to see the photo? So, so having a background
before you take a picture, you have something in your mind of how you want it to look like.
True.
That is something I think I should.
You see, well, photographers in Uganda, of course, don't think about doing a mood board, because when you're going to do something, you have to know what you want to put. I believe you have to put it on paper, like a drawing of. I want it to be some like this. Then, of course, when you get the camera, you have to do what?
To replicate.
Yeah, just like how movie guys do it.
Yeah.
They do a mood board, they draw all those things, animators and all that. You understand before you take them. Of course, in Uganda, it's vibes. You just get your camera, take, and then, of course, people will hype you. Of course, they're ignorant. Most people are ignorant about images. They'll be like, oh, it's a fine photo in a way. Of course, you get it. So, but still, it goes about to how you want.
I was actually going to release a few pictures like this week, asking people to rate my skills in photography, but since I didn't consider any of that, now I'm going to go back to the drawing board and I redo these pictures and I'll come back now.
Yeah, but still, it's supposed to be. It shouldn't have so much rules. I don't believe in rules. I'm like, you can do how you feel. Art is emotions, like how you feel you want something. Of course, there are rules that make you get something that is right, but still, when you do something, you just feel. It tells a lot. That's why you see, okay, let me first get away, like, okay, we know artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence can't draw my painting if I was an artist. It could copy the ones I've done, but they can't predict what I'm going to do next. That's how powerful any art is. So you understand? It's a thought.
Totally.
It can predict.
You carry your own, the vision, the whole vision of
something like
something.
That. So I believe, the rules are there, everything is there, but you can do the way you want something, of course. Yes.
What is some of that gear I should never miss out? If I start getting gigs with people, know that me now as a photographer, I'm starting out, I should have this type of equipment. Oh, for you, like, how is it like? How did you start? Did you have like, me, I've been lucky. The time I've wanted to start, there's a Canon 5D, I think, Mark 6D. There are also all these ones I keep practicing with. So I feel like if I really, really, really invest my time into it, I'll maybe perfect, but I'm also not an artist. So there's that. For you, how was it like? Like, how did you start out as a photographer? How do you even get the gigs in the first place? Like, how do you now trust yourself enough to take on people's weddings, people's functions? Because these are very, very big memories for people. Well,
for starters, of course, cameras are quite expensive, and I couldn't afford my ideal camera. Even up to now, there's a camera I want myself, but I feel like when I buy it, it won't, like, do value. You know how kids in Uganda don't have that most expensive camera. So I'm like, okay, I want to use what's there. But of course, for the start, I didn't have a camera personally. I would hire. Every chance I would get a camera, I would max it. Maybe do personal projects, go out there, start shooting, because you have to build the skill. Because you see, we're in a generation, space age where we have YouTube, you have watch, you watch, but you have to practice. You understand? So when you watch and then you get a camera or hire, or your friend has one, you just. So that's how it all started. Of course, you start taking pictures, but let me tell you, you cannot start from high there. No, it starts from taking fake pictures. And you're like, okay, no. But me, all I could do is compare myself with my, like people I could, like social media or internet mentors.
Are they just internet mentors, or you have like some really outstanding photographers? Now, like for me, I like the guy that was taking pictures for Obama. How he was, and I was reading some documentary on him. How he's very articulate with how he takes his angles, everything, like some of the things you just mentioned. He's one of those guys, yes. He has retired. He retired right after Trump lost, I think, his second term. That's when he's done with White House business, but to me it was really, really good. He has also done for Barack Obama. He also was the official photographer for Kennedy. So he has grown old in the White House just doing that.
Okay, no. Well, you see, I don't know. I don't want to say everyone has to do what everyone's doing. I have my mentor, and I look up to him. Of course, he doesn't know me, but I feel like I watch a lot of videos done by him. Like turn on his notifications. You know how you feel like
really
what
like,
to relate,
someone's work,
and when you keep doing that, I believe you get to that level where you feel like, okay, at least I'm not bad. Even if I get a chance to talk to him or meet him, it'll be like this kid or this man is. You get it?
Yeah.
And that's what I always do, because what is a career when you don't have a mentor? In it?
That's right.
So you benchmark, you watch, and of course, it's so much information about photography on the internet. But you see, we don't want to embrace that. And you see, technologies are changing every now and then. Like today, there's this, and of course, next time there's this. So you have to keep updated. Yes. But of course, now, our market in Uganda, you can't have that most expensive gear because it won't pay off. You can't have 5,000, camera, just actually the body, and you think it's good. How long are you going to get money off that? Of course, you have to get a camera that is in what? In your.
What would you advise for someone just starting out? Besides the money thing, if I really want the passion, and what's that gear I must have at least for a start?
Well, talking about gear.
You think that
I don't trust so much in gear, honestly. I trust so
the
much
skill.
in what is in the head and what you can put out there. Because at the end of the day, personally, I can use any camera I get hold of. Some of them have limitations. They push it to the end, like, okay, they can't get you what you want. But as a photographer, it's a skill. It's a skill set that you can do with whatever comes your way, every camera. Because they all have the same things. Despite all the different brands out there, it's the same concept. You understand?
Yeah.
So I can't say there's this gear, there's that gear, because there's a lot of gear out there.
I feel it.
Yeah. And well, personally, me starting, I had a very, very bad camera, man.
What was it?
I don't know. Starting, it was like, how do they call it? It used to be, it was a Nikon, by the way. Someone gave it to me, it's like, Keson, have it.
Yeah.
Started taking pictures. I don't even remember, but it was bad. Because you like, to the extent I could get scared to pull it out and start taking pictures. You're like, what? But I know how to do a good photo
with it.
Yeah, but there's that thing you feel, man, maybe it's you get it.
Yes.
And keep wanting those high end. But of course, it helps you. Despite its limitations, they push you to the whole of trying to make that good photograph.
Come on.
Like, I don't have this, but I want this.
Yeah.
So I did a whole lot of research to the extent that I could even shoot using it, eyes closed. That level. Eyes closed, and you could just take a picture. You understand? Because I could.
How do you take a picture with eyes closed?
No. Of course, I'm just trying to tell you that I've mastered this small camera to the extent I can take a picture even eyes closed. Of course, you have to see, but take a picture subconsciously. You understand? So that's the level I'd got into. But now I'm like, okay, now I've mastered this one. I need to upgrade. Of course, you get gigs, you save, but remember, as youth in Uganda, you have to have a lot of money. So, and I didn't get a chance to get anyone funders or something. No,
it's been you and yourself.
Cash your money, you even get a loan, you get a camera, you start paying in installments. Yeah, and then you get your best camera, you start shooting, and then boom.
It works out.
Yeah, but of course, there are cameras that cannot do video, cameras that are good in photos. You just have to do research.
Yeah.
You have to pick your own poison. You get something like that.
True. So how do you now gain the confidence? As someone who started out, remember, first of all, you didn't even go to photography school, or this is some passion you had. How do you now gain the confidence to handle it to someone's wedding? Because a wedding is a very crucial thing to people.
True.
Yeah? How do you really feel like, I can now do a wedding?
Well, my first wedding, I don't know, man. Well,
and tell us also about your first wedding and the whole experience.
Well, you've been doing all these gigs out there, birthdays, what, personal projects and all that. And then someone calls you like, I have this wedding, this budget. That thing was actually pressuring, man. I don't know.
I can only imagine, man.
But I'm like, I got this. So, of course, we have the internet. So I'm like, let me first go and see how people do what.
Weddings.
I know how to use a camera. I know how to do this in the situation. But then a wedding, it's your first time. You don't know anything could go wrong or what. You get. So I'm like, get my camera. What do I need? Of course, after, doing all that good. And of course, When you watch YouTube, how they do weddings, man, I don't know. It's not right. These guys exaggerate everything. So it wasn't the way it was. It was so much pressure. You know, sometimes everything is like moving so fast. You don't get organized what you want. You know, they don't give you that time. So trust me. Sometimes the settings are wrong. You know what? And the beauty is you can actually take pictures in RAW.
Yeah.
But I feel a photo has to be right on camera. I'm not a person who believes into you have to go and edit after. No, man.
Wait, you don't use
I do edit.
All right.
But I feel the photo has to be done on camera. By the time it gets there, you don't have to do a whole lot of stuff, honestly. I say, I only should show what. Man, the photo, you see, we're in a generation, okay, what if we're in the 70s, you know? You have to picture yourself, but if you're in the 70s, you don't have this software, you
even the camera guys, they will just take pictures when we're growing up. They'll just take a picture, then probably next week comes.
It's a negative. They go to the dark room, they print it out, and it's done. Man, if you're that way, you're that way. No altering your photo. But of course, with generation, everything has to, do what. But I feel I'm a person who feels that a photo has to be done there, so that you just make a few adjustments here and there, and then, because man, photos take a lot. You have a lot of gigs coming, and you want to have it's going to
isn't there like a very, very fast enhancing software that can?
Well, they are there, but it depends your style as well. It goes back to your style. You see how a photojournalists work, and how beauty works, and how nature photographers and wildlife, they're all like different types of edit, So it depends what you're actually working on here. So I can't say this is fast, this is what. Of course, it depends what you're actually shooting.
So in some of the feedback I see you getting online, with your work, it's all commendable. Do you have any situations where a client has rejected your work? Because I personally, I've rejected some photographers' work. I've also have a chance. Most of them are my friends, so it's easy to tell them that, just go back and redo these pictures or something. Or we'll just do another whole set. Just like when we were doing a set for Bellwether, Harrison was taking my pictures with the few models. Okay. He's my very good friend. So we had to redo the shoots again and again, but because his gear was limited, some indoor shoots we didn't have light, we didn't have all that stuff, and but it came with ease because we're also just very close friends. But then, how would you feel if I had you for a gig and let's say my wedding and you have to redo my pictures? Do you even ever get something like that?
Well, I can't say I'm up there. No, man. People have rejected my work. Several people, man, and some have to re-edit. Maybe for the redo, that's very tricky because I will have to put a surcharge. On that, you have to pay me again to redo it. For a wedding, it's a whole. That's why we have several photographers. I would have to carry another photographer because I cannot afford to miss a moment. You understand? But I've had work being rejected. Like, listen, this is trash, man.
All right. So how do you?
Let me tell you, these are things people don't tell you. Every photographer out there, even the best, their work gets rejected because at the end of the day, everyone has their preference. So when someone contacts me, I'm like, but have you seen my photos? Like, no, me, I've been told you're a good photographer. You're like, okay, here's what I do. Here's this. Does it fit your what? Because personally, I have my own style. So I ask you, does it fit your preference? Is this what you want? And then, of course, if you feel like it's up to you, because, man, there are a whole lot of photographers out there. So if you see my work is what you want, then we are good to go, man. And, of course, I'll do that according to my style. But, there are people who just want, because they hear, he's a good photographer. But, come on, you have a preference. That's why the first thing I ask you is my style. Are you comfortable with my style? Like, I've not seen your style.
See, that becomes tricky. If I know that you're a good photographer and I've seen your work and I don't know about styles or what, and all I know is that, I know this guy, I like what I saw about this guy. That's enough for you to take on the gig, right?
True. But, of course, if I show you samples, then you feel like, okay, it means my satisfaction. Good. Then we carry on. But now, it's not like I'll do, and then you're like, but I did like this. How come this is this? How come there's no colors? I like colors. You understand all that thing. But when I show you in advance, it's up to you because you picked me. But yes. That's why we have websites and social media, because you go there and benchmark so many photographers out there. Even in Kampala itself, quite many.
So many.
You get, but then you have to be keen. What do you want? What do you want to use this photo for? Because now, let's take an example. If New Times magazine wants to do a photograph of our president, they'll be like, who fits our style? Then they'll benchmark all these photographers in Uganda, and then they'll come up with one. They'll approach everyone, by the way.
Is there like an association of where I go and be like, okay, now these are the photographers of Uganda? Emeka was just on the podcast.
Whoa, associations. Oh my God, there are quite many. Even the very first is not owned by any Ugandan. It's a white man who owned our Uganda Photographer Association. I don't even think that guy is still alive, because it was done in the 1970s, man. You understand?
Yeah.
There are many PPA. I see this. Then, man, there are quite many. There are very many, and of course, each and every association in photography that we have in Uganda, they have their own objectives. You can't know. Yeah, I can't say I'm even under any
association for you. You've
personal.
just been doing your photography thing,
Yeah, because I'm like, now which one should I go for? Because there are very many. Because there's so many WhatsApp groups that consider, and all that. But that is so biased to the extent
that is me and my clique friends' first priority.
Yes. Yeah. So I can't be in any, because the ones I know are very mob. You understand?
Yeah.
Because even I personally had that thought of like, how about I set up mine? I just go register mine and then start mine.
How about you do that, by the way?
Yeah, but now you just have to do so much. We are so ununited, It's we are all doing the same thing. But
one thing I've realized about arts, and this is to pick on from because we do host a lot of people in the arts world on the podcast. There's one thing I've constantly realized and noticed on this podcast, just as using it as a sample space, is all artists speak of the being ununited. Artists, I'm saying now, like musicians. The Myth was on the podcast saying the only reason we are still in a crack of lockdown and all this stuff is because what? We're not united. Emeka was just here saying, literally highlighting on a few things like that. Okay, for him actually with the comedy thing, he says the umbrellas are good, the groups are working with them. So, but musicians, any other guys in the arts industry, DJs, there's that division and cross-section. A few people want to push an agenda, then these ones are benefiting from maybe the status quo, so they can't let it be. And it's something. But I really think that unity would make sense. And for someone like you who has, it's not like you're too big, but at least I know that for a fact, with the digital presence, you're very recognized, With all my friends, this is not because I know you, but I know for a fact that if I talk to people in my circles, they would name you as a photographer. Because I was actually talking to a few friends and I was saying, since we now have all this equipment, we need to really work with creatives to get work more out there. We now have a studio. We want to use photographers, people who know their skills, to create a lot of stuff out there. Your name always pops up. I really feel like you're in a position to actually start something like that.
Yeah, but of course, it demands a whole lot of time, personally, and of course now it's a trade-off. You either do the association or you do your work you're supposed to do, which is very tricky right now. I could be knowing several photographers personally, the ones that taught me, the ones I've learned from, the ones that are friends with me, and the ones I'm going to be friends with after maybe tomorrow or some other day. So, well, I feel something I would want to start, but it's going to take a whole lot of time for me. So that I have to focus on either doing that or photos. And I believe I'm so passionate about taking images, so I'll choose the other one. Unless maybe it's a group of people who decide to do it, and then I can help.
No, in a world, the pandemic is happening, we're amidst it, but it's also a very, very, very booming world for the gig economy, where people like you who are doing arts are either surviving. Would you say that? Are you managing through this pandemic, or it's been a setback? How is it treating you?
Well, definitely, it's been a setback. If you used to have, like, let's say every day you have a gig or work, and then we get to a time where you take a week being home, man. Of course, that's the change.
Because there are no movements and all this.
And of course, people are very conscious. They're like, they can't have you to their place. They can't do this because they don't know where you've been. And we respect that. however much you want the money, but man, your health has to be there.
It's top priority. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been challenging, I must
So
say.
then, surprisingly, you're here for the podcast. When you told me you're coming, I even thought, I think photographers got permits now and they're essential workers.
No. I live very close for starters.
Yes. Okay.
It's a walkable distance. But honestly, when you're doing photos, man, you have to, like come close to someone, and of course, the president.
Yeah.
Man, you can't do that.
Sitting. I have also seen you really go an extra head when you're organizing your sets. So you go to the client, you give them the postures.
Yeah, you understand. So you're basically on their space. So, and of course, there's no
If
zero
you came to
distance.
me and because I really feel like I am very unphotogenic. Yeah. How do you help me come out alive in a picture?
Usually, I'm a person who doesn't believe in the whole directing and positioning, because I want it to be real.
Yeah.
Maybe uncomfortable because you're shy in the camera. That means I have to build a rapport. You have to know me. We have to talk, and when you free up, then you can actually take images. Because imagine you're like here, you grab and put somewhere, and they're like, "We're going to start taking images." You're like, "What? You have all these thoughts?" But I'm your friend. Come on. You have to build that whole thing, and I love it natural, because you have to, tell someone, "Man, I like your shirt." You compliment them. You just put them in mood, because someone has really dressed up for this thing. You have to tell them, "Man, that shoe, yeah, it's a killer shoe, man."
Yeah.
They'll
feel it.
a little bit, yeah. They will, that whole pressure will at least, and then start. By the time you get done, you've had a friend, you've made a friend. They're okay. You've got amazing shots and all that, and real shots actually. Yes, of course it depends on what you're shooting. It's a family shoot, man. They have to be happy, man. They have to feel comfortable in front of you.
I never shot any guys on their sad. That guy, Kenneth, he never takes any pictures of him while smiling. He's always
Well, I don't know who takes his pictures.
He just doesn't. He's a photographer of himself, but even if he just puts the picture,
I don't know, man. Photography people have so much ideas. I've seen someone on Pinterest like, I take sad images. I do what? I take, and you're like, okay. But I feel it depends what you're shooting. Because for a model, that means there's more directing. Because let's say they're modeling for a cloth line, maybe a shoe brand. So that needs a whole lot of directing. Yeah. But you're taking a family shoot, man. It's supposed to be happy photos, because you wouldn't want to come to someone's house and they look at it and they're like, why is everyone sad here? You understand? It doesn't add that.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it's someone's birthday. It's a good day for them. Like this is an amazing day in their life, you know? So they have to be happy. So it depends. Or maybe it's a wedding. This is a one-time thing. Imagine taking a bride who's sad. I'll tell you, by the way, actually, when I'm having a few couples or maybe a wedding couple, I tell them, you see, everyone's going to come to your place. You're going to give them this album. Yeah. Just imagine
what they would
it's a sad thing.
Yes.
Of course, there's so many things that are frustrating them on their weddings. But you have to be real to them. You tell them, this is for us. At the end of the day, I will take pictures and give you the images. But imagine you're not showing elation in this thing, man, because it's a wedding. It's happiness. It's before it has to be there out there, like happiness, joy and all that. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's not there.
All right. Now,
so it has to really, really. You have to know what you're shooting and then how the atmosphere has to be. Yes.
Sure.
Because I've also done a few projects. I haven't posted any of them, but they're about depression, anxiety, and all that, those things. Yeah. Of course, when doing such a project, you don't just expect someone to smile.
That's right.
They could laugh, but the laugh has to be sarcastic, because they're hurting inside. You understand? So you have to portray that. It depends what you're actually doing now. Yeah.
What are some of those really big projects you've gotten onto and came out alive? Like you feel like, you know what, this is it. Have you gotten on any success stories of a project and you're the photographer headlining it? And
well, quite a few, by the way. Well, I feel I'm not known.
Oh, you are. No, you are. Now
honestly, I feel like
you're going to be known. You're going to be known.
Well, I've actually heard, but you see, most of these things don't. There are, newsletters, news reports. They don't put you. So even if you do a good photograph, they're not going to put you. And that's a problem in Uganda. I don't understand. Is it that they don't want to promote someone? I think you're supposed to appreciate everyone. You can't have a magazine
Yeah.
and then you have someone's photo and you don't tag them.
But I feel like that's like a copyright thing, and you're supposed to like sue them for something like that.
Well, come on. You're in Uganda, for goodness sake. You cannot
My magazine, man. Why would you have my
yeah, I
pictures
know.
in
I've
my
seen them.
fucking magazine?
Then you see they use your photo, but they don't tag you. And I'm like, maybe, you know. So I'm like, maybe let me just build a style where everyone actually can see this photo and know it's taken by Keson. You understand?
Right.
That's why I actually I don't like watermarking my images. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm in a generation where, come on, Photoshop, you can do anything.
You can
unless you're just going to put nothing on that photo, like a white thing. This is my photo.
Yeah.
But if you put a watermark, it can be removed. So you just have to build a style where everyone can look at this like, let me see, how many photographers can actually do this? This one. So your name is mentioned. Because it's your style. You understand? I believe in that.
That is actually really genius, man.
I believe in that. But for the projects I've worked on, like quite a few. And these are people that I've worked with and I've had for all these years I've been doing photography.
Do you have like a niche, or you can do anything? Real estate, blah blah blah, all the stuff going on.
Okay, I must tell you.
Yeah.
Photography, they're the same settings. Same things when you get the camera, of course. But things that, okay, you feel comfortable with. If I'm to do real estate, come on. Yeah, I can, man. Because you're going to see benchmark, do whatever you research and all that, then you get what to do. But you won't be as comfortable as you. Like personally, I love portraits, I love weddings, I love fashion, I love beauty shots, you understand?
Yeah.
So this is where I just, like, I'm sparkling. I feel when I'm doing that. I don't have to, feel a little bit,
anxious or what or anything.
Something like that. Honestly, I'm not good
You're
at
just getting the vibe with it.
Yeah, I have a story. I was with my friend, Makoma.
Yeah.
Makoma Nation. He does wildlife. I was like, Keson, you should get a time we go there. I'm like, man, I don't know how they do this. I'm not that patient to take something that is moving. It's like, I know you're good. I don't feel it's like a calling to me for me to go and do wildlife.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. Well, I can. It's a picture, man. You just have to hold your camera, be steady, but I feel it's, I don't feel it. Like how I would be shooting a fashion, a fashion model or something. There, I feel like,
What pulls you to this fashion industry? Is it for the fact that, because of course there are a lot of very beautiful women in the fashion line? I don't know. It could be a thing. It could be you.
Well, I don't believe in beauty, honestly.
Yeah.
Everyone is beautiful in whatever you're trying to portray. You see, I've actually talked to a photographer like, by the way, I like Skin Babe. I'm like, dude, man, you can't be that biased when you're a photographer. You understand?
Yeah.
Like,
you really can't.
You can't. Because everyone is beautiful. Trust me. It's someone to be
And
like, someone can actually approach me like, Keson, I'm not that what? Can you alter this? I'm like, I have to make them feel loved. Like they should have that self-esteem before we carry on the what. Like, let me tell you, there's nothing beautiful, there's nothing. We're going to make this perfect. When you tell them that, they feel relaxed, and then of course you can carry on with a shoot.
What's your experience working with models, man? Like in the, because of course they're born for the camera and stuff. Is it so easy?
Professional.
But then, professional.
Well, one thing I like about professional models, they understand when you talk to them because they have worked with several people, so it doesn't give you a whole heck.
I feel like a lot goes on into a shoot. As there's just podcasting. Sometime back, Brenda was coming on the podcast. She's a model. She is also starting a podcast. I think it's Occasional Conversations. So, but she had to come with a whole makeup artist. What? It's too much.
I know.
I feel like I don't have the patience to ever be in a situation like that. And if for this podcast, they start telling us that now you see if you're going on set, you have to do this. I'll quit.
I know.
Like, no, that's it.
I know.
That's it.
I know. And I totally agree because it takes a while. But you see, they've gotten used to this whole thing. That they do it
effortlessly.
Yeah, effortlessly. Like they know what to do. They get to the set. They know the photographer, and of course, some of them actually have their favorite photographers. It's like you relate with someone like, I feel comfortable because I'm just taking my images because he knows what to do. He knows these angles, he knows how to direct. You understand?
Yeah.
But maybe it's someone you don't know. It's going to be a. They have to really, really be prepared. But I cannot say it's something that they hustle with. They do it well, effortlessly. Yes.
Now, the pandemic looks like it's the real new normal, yeah? Like weddings are going to be limited to 20 people. Of course, the numbers, it looks like it's just not going to go away after the 42 days. What's like your plan? What do you have in mind? How are you going to get through it? No concerts, because I believe it's more gigs. No fashion shows. No what for fashion photograph. Of course, weddings are limited. I am thinking if the number of people is limited on a wedding, even the budget for the photographer is cut down. I don't know.
Wow. I don't understand when people say that.
I don't know. That is my feeling. I don't know if it's
okay. I need to make this clear. Okay, let me give you a breakdown of how wedding works.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Morning. Let's say they are in the salon.
Yeah.
The hair, that what, and they're doing all that. Who's there?
The photographer.
No, I mean like the bride, the groom, the maids, the entire entourage, right?
Yes.
That's the first set. You go to church.
Wait,
same thing.
You do because you have to take pictures of the salon and
so I'm like trying to break it down for you.
Yeah.
This is a salon. This is church. Who do you focus on when you're at church?
The couple.
Taking what?
Pictures.
Yeah, of their vows, right?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
We are done there. We go for a photo session. Could be in a garden, a hotel, any place. Who do we focus on?
Yes.
You understand?
The weddings, actually.
Let me tell you, the number of people is only focused at
reception, I think.
At church a little bit.
Yeah. But not so much.
At church it's more of the witnesses. Like who is there to witness? Of course, the parents, maybe the best man, the matron, and the grandparents or something like. Those are the ones we consider important. Actually, if you fail to take a photo of those people, you're going to have issues with that, with the couple.
Yes.
So we go to the reception. That's 3 6 of the entire day. Then we go to the reception. Reception, of course.
They have to change. They have to first come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are you focusing?
A couple.
Like on 100.
90%.
No. I won't say 90%. I'll say like 70%.
Is on the
couple.
Yeah.
Entering, when they're greeting people, when they're dancing, and you understand.
So your work is still intact, whether there are more people or not.
Yes. Yeah. So the only way the people that have attended the wedding are not really focused on is because they are happy for these people. Personally, I don't feel happy taking up a sad image of someone at someone's wedding. Imagine someone has attended a wedding, is like gloomy. Man, we don't want to vibe that. I want everything to be at that wedding to be really, really amazing.
Yeah.
You understand? I want it to be. I just want elation to be depicted in every image I take there, right? So you have to tell them and cheer up. It's a good way. What, and of course they will laugh off. I actually find men a little bit, men are not good at smiling and all that. They actually feel uncomfortable. But of course, you have to take their images. So I'm just telling you, people who have attended, they're just witnessing. We need to understand, at the end of the day, it all focuses. Yes.
Like, totally. Besides the wedding, because, now people, of course, let's say they don't cut down the budget. They're just going to postpone the days until,
It's okay.
To just push, keep pushing. How are you then? Because at least I'm guaranteed there will not be any fashion shows. I tried to work a few things with Judith at so she was telling me, man, I don't even know what we're gonna do. Those fashion shows are a bit on hold and what stuff like that. So your niche is there. You're interested in fashion stuff, and now it's the pandemic. How are you planning to?
But now let me give you another idea. Of course, it won't free up to the extent where thousands of people actually coming across. I was telling you something. Social media.
Yeah.
How do you portray a product? Of course, we're going to do more of. Let's say, I believe transportation is going to go back to normal, right?
Yeah.
But these things of big crowds, what it won't take possible. Let me tell you, photography and its beauty. This is amazing.
Yeah.
If you have an online store. What's the first thing? Who's the first person you're supposed to? Okay, the first 3 people you're supposed to consider. Someone's going to set up your website. Someone's going to run your website. And then next, a photographer or videographer. That's ultimate. That I was telling you, photography is going to be...
You can't avoid it.
Yes. There's no way you can avoid it. So, they're going to call the photographer to take their products, what, which, of course, you don't need a whole lot of people. Even if it's a model come in, get sanitized, we take the photos, you get. And of course, there's
that
social
actually skipped my mind that there's a whole line, because now everyone is actually looking at going e-commerce and stuff like that. And the most important bit with e-commerce is the photography, basically.
Yeah. Not just e-commerce. Let me tell you, it's a government project.
Yeah.
I was doing monitoring and evaluation. What's one thing to evaluate that we're here? This is how this thing. You have to take a photograph. Despite all the words you're going to put under the photo. If you're constructing a bridge, it has to be taken, and then you get.
Totally.
So, photography is
highly needed. Everything, I think,
is a necessity when it comes to
visual.
Life. Yeah. Because now everyone is on their phone. How many photos do you look at a day?
Millions.
Yeah, you understand.
Millions.
So I'm telling you, it's something we cannot do without. I don't know. I actually look at people who disrespect photographers, and I'm like, come on, man, just this.
I totally agree with you on that.
You understand?
And I'd never even actually really picked into the value of the whole photography thing until you just explained it to me that actually now the world is just going to shift to more of where it is, because now people are on the phones and
So this whole wedding thing, it's not going to change, because even the deliverables are going to be the same, man. You get, they're going to be the same. So the cost, of course.
What goes away at these parties or what?
And I have this theory of mine. Very many people in your wedding, it's not going to be a very fun wedding. Regardless. I've actually experienced weddings that are with few people. They're amazing. Not that our work is like lessened or something. No.
They're just very neatly organized.
Yes.
Yeah, there's that.
The decor, the what.
Exactly. I've been to one that had very few people. I think I had to up to 60 people. And to me, it was my best wedding. That's still a lot. People have had.
You see, for the decor people, it may not work for them because the fewer the number, the few things are going to be on set and all that. But the cameras are going to be the same. They're going to be if the two videographers are going to be there. Because let's say for video, you can't be like, I'm going to have one videographer. Come on. Really? So when you're like dancing, how are they going to get the other people? They're happy for you dancing. You understand? These are like cutaways and all that. It's needed. Yeah? The photographers, they're getting pictures of you dancing. They also have to get your mommy very happy. You can't expect me to jump from this position to the other position to do that. So you understand, it's going to be that. We haven't even reduced. In fact, you're going to even increase the prices because honestly, I remember, of course, that when you add on that, the gear we use.
Exactly.
You don't expect me to go and get a cafe camera because, the prices of, no, it's going to be the same gear we're using.
Yeah, because you still want the wedding to come out live.
So these people have to just adjust, honestly.
Yeah.
But photography prices won't go any lower. Actually, we're going to even increase because, man, we have noticed we are essential. Like, our career is essential.
The government is just not giving you permits, but you're essential.
Yeah, and of course... Well, in Uganda, there's so many things that are happening.
Yeah, things are so many at play. But I think you can really test for it. People don't want to really highlight who is basically essential. But I feel like whoever makes the lockdown rules, if their child had a wedding and there was no photographer, they would curse for the rest of their lives.
Let me tell you, photography is, I don't know, it's part and parcel of society, media, visualization,
because it's the memory,
everything. Yes. If you're looking for a medium of communication or visual communication, either video or what? Images. Yeah. You can't do that. So, almost 30% of any newspaper or something, images. You get? So people have to embrace photographers, honestly. Actually, they have to respect them as they do respect lawyers, architects and engineers and all that. Yes, economists, because man, we do a whole lot. Yes.
Are you in position to, if I had previous pictures of me, are you in position to do editing on them? Yeah. If they're not mine, if they're not it's not your work. Can you?
Well, I would. Okay, the only thing I would actually allow that if they actually did more of raw files. Yeah, that is very okay with me. I can, but of course at a cost.
Yeah, of course, everything is at a cost.
Yeah, so but it can be done because, of course, if this person did their images, they're in raw form. I can do anything I want with them. Yeah, very much.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, let's now slide away into from this whole. We'll probably come back to it Let's go into you as Keson. Who is Keson? What defines you? Like, how do you go about your life?
Well, I'm a citizen of Uganda, trying to be up there, and I believe with this career of photography, I'll get there. Personally, I must say, Keson, it's my name, then Bandahura, my dad's name, so that's how it's all connected. For people, they could be knowing me by other names, of course, which I happily take. Yeah. And I believe you personally, you know my other names, of course, you understand. Yeah. But Keson Bandahura is a photographer in Uganda. And a content what?
Creator.
Yes.
How is content creation, man? Are you on YouTube? Things like that?
Well, not really.
Are you making money out of this content stuff?
I wish I could. Man, so much stuff on the table. I feel like maybe we're supposed to be given more than 24 hours a day, because, man, of course, 24 hours a day, the hours you're like sleeping and trying to rest off, I feel, man, it's a whole lot of work. Yes. But another thing, a photographer may need, actually, every photographer needs a content creator that doesn't do photography but can help, because we are people who have content. You know how many images I have?
Creator? Yeah. All right.
If I was to do a magazine, I can do it.
Do you have rights to these images? Because now if you do a magazine and then I find a picture of me you took in 2016.
Let's talk about images.
Yeah.
You see, some lady on Twitter asked, who owns the photo? If you call me and pay me,
I don't expect you to put your watermark.
Sometimes we do contracts and all that. Yeah. And that's why I don't watermark my images for starters. You understand?
Yeah.
If someone pays you, maybe you've done, because I've done mob work where you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Like, we own these photos. If I'm paid, well and good. Okay. It's up to me to request.
Yeah.
You get to request that, can I use these photos? It's up to you to say yes or no. But also, if it's my personal project, I called you a model, you allowed, maybe I may not have paid, but I talked to you and convinced you, I'm like, this is a project, my personal project, I want to do this. I own those images 100%. You understand? But if it's a conference, they called you, come on, honestly, you don't own.
First, repeat what you just said. If you own the pictures of the model.
No, I'm trying to get, if it's a personal, like this project I was doing about anxiety, what, and all, and depression. I'm like, if I called you and did the shoot, I own 100% of the images.
I agree, totally agree.
It's up to me to use those images the way I want.
If I phone that image, you probably took a very good image of me amidst that shoot. Then I find it on a billboard.
You see, that's why I have to, have a contract signed. I'm like, I'm going to use this photo, but this is my project. If I paid you the model, or if I paid the agents, I'm like, man, I want to do this. I come clean. I tell them it's going to do a whole lot of work for me. This is my project. I pay you. Come on. There's no way. And if you maybe sign the contract, how are you going to come at me and be like, yo, you did this and this? No.
How are the imaging rights in the country? Do we have any?
I've tried to read a few things here, but they're not as clear. I don't know. That's the problem that, photographers haven't been embraced so much. Because when you talk about now, man, everything's just not right. Yes. But only when you're in this generation of ours, you can't just tweet. You can't just even do a tweet. Because in other countries, if you do a tweet and you don't tag someone, they actually sue you and will pay heavily. But you find someone using someone's photo just like freely. To the extent, if I take a picture of someone and you happen to get a copy, you cannot use someone as a meme. I can actually sue you. You understand?
Yeah.
So you understand, a little bit complicated, but they're not embraced in Uganda. Of course, you can get away with it. Yes.
Implementation here is still a big problem. It affects mostly us as the creators. But also, there are new technology coming up, NFTs, where you can protect your work.
Yeah, and selling. You guys are making a whole lot of money. Yes.
Yeah.
The person I was also about, how I do a little bit. I do
research and reading.
Crypto. Personally, I've invested in crypto before. It didn't go well.
Yeah.
The deep
Have you given up on it? Yeah, but that's the game.
No, of course I know. everything. But I'm like, let me just give it a time of course, we're in COVID, and I'm like, no, I want to go hard on it. Yeah. But of course, I read articles.
As a photographer, by the way, because there's a chick with NFTs and with crypto, sorry. Because they're trading all the platforms people put there for the NFT. People pay in crypto. I feel like you're in position to make
a whole lot, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said, just like you just said, you have 1 million of photos. You don't even have what to use for. You just need a content creator. Yes. Put these up there, NFT them, start making money.
Yeah, because it's more like, I don't know, it's a new thing where, I think it was mostly made for painters, visual artists, photographers, and content creators.
Yeah.
And videographers. Because you're like, this is owned by this, like it's the first thing. It's yours.
You have all the rights.
Yes.
And no one is in position to
and
make
people are paying heavily for them. Because the very first time they announced NFTs, they are talking about this tweet by Jack Dorsey. And I'm like, this guy is making a lot. It's going to sell it. You can imagine selling a tweet. All that amount they are talking about. You understand? It's wild. So it's something to show the world is getting to that.
Then there were paintings of a chick. I forget her name and I don't know how it skipped my mind. I should have brought it up. But then she made millions of money, more money than Mona Lisa made actually. That's how crazy NFTs are. Yes. In just one day she uploaded her pictures and now she keeps making, and how the beauty is you're even protected as the owner. All right, no one is in position to make a digital copy.
And of course, when you talk about NFTs, I think all it has to do in the blockchain thing, like the relation, because
exactly that new technology,
so which it just puts every right for you there. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Interesting from photography. Personal life, married, children, what is it?
No. Well, I'm seeing someone.
I see you. Yeah, I know for a fact that you're seeing someone. That one I knew. But then I know for someone that has to take pictures of models, then you're into the social media. I've seen a tweet from Vicky. Mm-hmm. She quoted one of your ads and said, if this guy came to do a shoot with me, I don't know what I would do to him. That is what she was saying. She was like, this photographer, oh my God, like any other female would be excited about a photographer. How do you deal with this, man? Like, okay, of course, you're in a relationship. Is it personal discipline? Mm-hmm. Is it? Or you can just go and wild out. Because I know for a fact, ladies like photographers. This I've seen because I have a studio and I see what happens when they come close to this guy. Mm-hmm. They just overly get excited. Plus, a lot of females feel like it's a way they can just get away with their fees or what. If maybe they're doing this flat thing with the guy. How do you keep it professional? What guides you? And I don't want you to give me a textbook thing.
No.
Me, I'm a professional guy. I was raised by Mwami.
No, not really. But this goes back to who you are. You understand? And how you're raised. How you know your reputation. How big you see your brand or something. Because something like that can tarnish your name, man.
So much.
You understand?
Actually, let me tell you a story. So in this line of cameras and video editing, a friend of mine was doing a video, so we're doing some video for some chick. So right after the shoot and everything, they get hyper and all this thing. So one other friend of mine tells me that, do you know the worst mistake you can ever make is to have sex with a star, because it's there for you to do. Okay, for the sake of I don't even want to use taking advantage of them, but just doing it because it's available. So it can come back to bite you 20 years without you knowing it. It can just come back for you. And I didn't take that lightly. To me, I was like, okay, no, this is something strong I should actually consider. Because there's lots of people who like this camera life, yeah? I get people in my DM who are into just there because they see me behind cameras the other week. But the discipline and...
Well, speaking about that, I can't say I'm holy. I've done several, maybe, nude sessions, nude what? Yes, I have. Yeah. I may not come out there and be like, I'm a nude photographer, what. No,
yeah, but definitely you do that.
Yes, because maybe it's a fashion. They are very challenging. The very first time it was challenging, and I'm like, okay, but nowadays it's more like art, man. Come on, you've seen all that. Okay, let's take an example. Michelangelo, Da Vinci. Yeah. You see the paintings they used to do, the sculptures those guys used to do. Man, almost
How is it like
90% is that when you're an artist, it goes beyond that thought of like,
yeah,
this okay, leaving alone this whole reputation thing, what. When you're an artist, come on. You
you
actually
just
try
appreciate
to,
art
yes,
and you wanna recreate it. And that's it.
that's for starters, yes. I don't know how other people consider themselves, but to me, I feel it's more like work.
Yeah.
If someone has hired you, of course, some creatures are funny. They would want to lure you into doing that.
Intimidations
But
and all
yes, but you have to be clear about like, come on, really? Because you don't know their intentions with what they're trying to do to you.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to tarnish your name. You have to be conscious, by the way. People are not okay. People
That
can
is
use
so
your reputation to build their,
Their
and
brands.
we're in a situation where everyone wants to be out there. We get followers into doing those things. Man, Keson did this, and then everyone is like acting on me. And then, of course, I have to retaliate and come clean. You understand all that case. So, not to have all that, you have to do your job.
And
If you have other intentions, man, you have to cancel with them. You understand? Because honestly, I told my babe, I do those kind of shots. But I know what it's work, period. Of course, women are.
How come you have not posted any of these shots? Not for the fact of you posting because they're new and they'll get us excited, but because there are lots of clients who would want this.
Yes, it's very challenging.
Yeah,
but the respect I have for people's bodies, I can't do that.
No. I understand some people are actually okay with.
Yes.
I see Instagram models who take nude photos.
Well,
and
in
they
Uganda,
post them
man,
and all that stuff.
in Uganda, come on, we're
No, but there's
literally
also
in
a
8 years.
law, yeah?
Yes. No, let me tell you.
Against nudity, and it's right now there's a law against miniskirts in the music video.
But they
I
do
don't know
talk
if you
about
know.
nudity. They talk about things that are in that form that can draw that funny excitement to people.
Yeah.
But art, come on. The government of Ghana is going to censor every art that is on social media. Instagram. Not really.
They can't.
You understand?
Yeah, they even don't know.
But let me tell you, if I did a model, made an organic, because I don't know why ladies, let me take ladies that get me to do those kind of shoots that I do professionally. And I put so much art in them that if you look at this photo, you're like, it's art. Is it nude? And not supposed to be like excitement. It's supposed to be art.
It is art. It should be. I don't know because we're just a perverted generation that really takes everything out of context of how it's supposed to be. But everyone has seen a naked woman, right?
Well,
everyone has seen a naked guy. Everyone in our age bracket. I want to believe that whether you're still a virgin or not, you have seen a naked woman.
Yeah, but also you have to consider for the young generation that have access to phones and haven't gotten to that level.
But you see, young generations, when you're young, you just shower from anywhere. Yeah, naked. You get. They tell you to shower. You can shower amidst 10 people and you have no problem with it. It's just growing up and seeing all these things that gets your mind perverted. So if I'm young and I see a nude picture, I won't overthink it for a fact. A baby won't overthink nothing. Because a baby can walk out. When I was raising my son, when he was about 2.5 years, I think, he would just walk out on me naked sometimes. Not a good thing, but he would do it and nothing would change. His mind is not to that level where. So I believe it's not my responsibility to take care of young children, but it's work of art and people should see it as it is. Yeah,
because personally I feel, okay, also the depiction of that nude photo by a photographer defines if it's art or just to what?
All right. Is there a way? I mean, I don't know.
Come on, there's a photo you look at, you're like, this is art. There's nothing to do with what? Exciting people.
And there's one you'll be like, okay, I've not seen any intriguing ones.
I don't know.
All right.
But if you do, let me take an example. You go to Pinterest, Behance, and you Google like nude photography, nude art. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then you'll see some photos you usually see, and you're like, no, okay, now there's a difference in between these two. You understand? You'll definitely see
I've
that.
also seen there's a photographer who's really come out to just do these Bordeaux pictures and all that for people. Oh, and people have picked him up a lot. I think it's an industry that you guys have not here.
No, we've actually been doing this. We, like I was telling, the society we live in doesn't embrace that stuff as yet.
Yeah.
If personally left and then went to Europe or USA or California or something or LA, I'll do that.
But I feel you can do it here because people are picking up on it.
Because
Send
I've
it.
done projects. I've done projects, but if someone has intentions of me shooting with them, I send them a link that expires in how many. Even if you download it, it will be what corrupted, like it won't work because you have to show this. I've done this, or maybe you arrange a meeting and show them some of your work
And that's it.
without putting it on social media because someone has to inquire. You understand? I can do a project that is a little bit semi-nude, doesn't show anything. You understand? Because I believe in future I have to do more of an exhibition. But you're not going to get a Slay Queen's photo you just took randomly and exhibit it.
And then
Come
share
on,
it.
everyone will do exhibitions. You understand?
True.
So that's what I'm trying to put like. Bondua or nude art is also rather nude photography is art. It has nothing to do with exciting people. Yes.
That's right.
So me personally, I do that very well and professionally. Yes.
All right. People, of course, are going to pick up on that. I know that for a fact. All these female people that have been there hyping, they don't know what they should do their photos with. You know, they know that, okay, this is our guy, and he keeps our stuff private. He respects the profession.
And of course, now we are in a place where, this phone, you see, for hard drive, you can steal it. Someone does stuff. But everything we've been trying to put it on links, so that they're on cloud or drives, like online drives, not anything to do with what. If I do a project, I ask you, can I delete them off this? I send you a link. So that you have it there. It's safe. Compared to me having it on my house, what if a robber, a thief or a burglar comes and, takes everything. So you understand. Yeah. These are things we talk to them. Or sometimes I actually get a card. I edit, do all that. You have to buy that card. You give me money, I buy for you. I use it. I edit. I put everything on that card. I have nothing to keep at my place. You know what to do with your information or your what? Photographs. You understand? So it puts there what? And also, if some of them actually go to the end of the point of making you sign. Now imagine you sign and they leak. Man, you have to carry on with the repercussions because you have to keep information safe.
What happened to galleries, man? Where people... One thing I know about Michael Jackson, he used to enter galleries and select art pieces that were extremely very expensive, but since he was extremely very rich, he would never notice. He would tell the person, probably PA or what, that there's that joke, there's that thing that trended about him where he entered this gallery and selected things that were extremely so expensive. I don't remember the actual amount of money, but they were very, very expensive. I think they were higher than Uganda's GDP altogether. But a lot of things are higher than Uganda's GDP because I think Davido has more money than we do. There's that as well.
Sure.
Yeah. So he was selecting all these pictures, and the guy was like, "This is too much." And Michael Jackson was like, "Can't we afford it? I thought I make all this money." But that was the personalities. How come we don't have such cultures here where people...
No, by the way, let me tell you, people buy art.
I was going to go into the fact that why is art expensive, in your opinion? Then the whole gallery thing, like, what's the whole inspiration of having a portrait?
Okay, can I tell you something? In a generation where we feel we have so many problems that you may not focus on art so much, like, why would I have 5 million piece? Shillings
then why would a piece be 5 million?
Because it's the value attached to art. We have not appreciated art to that brim. You don't know information. Art is therapy. You look at a photo, you feel better. You understand? Be like, okay, you relate. You get to feel good. That's what we need to sell. Okay. You understand?
Yeah.
Picasso, you know him.
And that was the thing with Michael Jackson. Like, he will just look at a picture and it makes him feel good.
But we're still in a generation where you understand?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Ugandans buy art.
Yeah, some do. I know for a friend.
People organize to have portraits of them. They come and shoot with me and take that picture and make another piece.
How much would be a portrait? How much would you charge for a portrait? Like, of me?
Well,
like standard rating, without me being your friend. Yeah.
We have sessions at studio.
Yeah.
They start from 250,000.
It's manageable, yeah?
Yes. Of course, you have to tap the market, and of course, depends what the client wants. Yes.
There is something about official portraits. Like, let's say, I become famous in the future, and my socials have to have official portraits. Things like, what's the value? What's the difference between you taking a normal picture of me and you taking a portrait picture of me?
Okay, there's what they call photo utility. Photo utility is what's the usefulness of this image? Where is it going to go? You understand those two things? Because someone can contact you, don't know who they are, but they contact you personally. I'll ask you, what are you going to use this photo for? I have to ask you that. Of course, I'm going to use it for this magazine, what. Then I will charge you according to that. But that's more like premium. But of course, you can't know. But still, I'll ask you, what are you going to use this photo for? And because if you lie, if you lie to me, you're going to have an international magazine, and then you lie to me, and I don't meet their standards, you're going to what?
How much work is put into you producing, let's say, a picture? Let me say Vogue album cover, Times magazine. What's the difference between how you take that picture and how you take a picture of a picture I just want to put on my profile picture on Twitter?
Well, we have 3 grades of edits. Personally, I have those.
Yeah.
Premium, when I show you my photo, best photo, and then photo like you want to do chapter, because that's why it goes back to how much you can afford and what you're going to use the photo for. You understand? Yes. Now I can't get a chance to shoot the president, and then I just do. Come on, you know that. I'm not saying there's cluster in how I edit my work, no, but I'm talking about the usefulness of what? The image. And that's why you have to come with intentions. Tell me, Keson, I want to use this photo for this.
All right.
Because let me say, new times I have to send the photo as a what? A TIFF. You understand? Or a PNG or something. But now, if I'm to send you TIFFs, man, yourself, come on.
Totally.
They're going to be like, each photo is like 300 MBs, each photo. If I'm supposed to send you 10 photos, how much is that? So, you understand?
Are there people you want to die after your shoot? Like people you want to, specific people that I want to take a picture of that guy. I want to take a picture of Museveni. I want to take a picture of the Kavaka. I don't know about Museveni.
Okay, it will be an opportunity to shoot all those dignitaries and all that. Trust
Do you have like specifics? Because dignitaries change, but you know you want to stick to someone like Rebecca Kadaga. Even if she's speaker or not, I want to take some pictures of her. This person. Do you have any of those? Rihanna, like personally, me, I want to take.
Well, that's what made a tweet recently. I'm like, then I had to put me, what Rihanna, I put those candles. Yes, man, come on. Imagine you're working with Rihanna. You know. Imagine you're working with Kanye or something like that.
Yeah.
No, leave alone liking. You see, the way I've seen people appreciate photographers, art, and all that. Yeah. And those are the people I prefer to work with personally.
Let's go to local. Yes. Shiba, Spice Dana. Besides not just being a musician, who very many people. There's Shiba, there's Debbie, there's.
Yeah, I've actually did a few portraits of them. Some of them they don't credit you. You never know it's me who took it, but it's me who took it. Several, by the way. Because they contacted me, I started shooting. Me, I just shoot because, man, at the end of the day, it's
you're getting paid.
And you see, we have a generation where I feel it's very selfish, 100% selfish, for an artist to have me take that photo and they don't credit me.
You find that selfish?
100%.
No matter, even if they've paid your money or what, they just need.
Yes.
It's courtesy.
Come on, courtesy. Honestly, didn't fall from heaven. It's a beautiful photo you'd even put in your house. So why would you not credit someone?
The photographer. Yeah.
I love Eddie Kenzo so much. Because I think, I don't know if it's selfish or something. I don't know if they're selfish or they're ignorant. They don't know if they're supposed to do that. Yeah. And also another thing, sometimes they run their pages, sometimes they pay someone to run their pages. But all content creators and people who run accounts, they need to know that. Find out who took this image.
But then how do I find out? Look, I'm a new guy. I'm a new guy. I'm now managing Kenzo's pictures. And this is what happens, by the way, because I've managed high-end profile accounts for people. I have put work for Getty Images. I wouldn't know that maybe it's this photo. Plus, you know what? You get this stuff. This is what happens when you're managing a high profile. This is what happens. in my experience, this is what has happened. Guy gets you today, knows you're doing good work, sends you emails of all his data and all his information and all his photography, and he tells you, do your job. That's
but still, it's courtesy for you to inquire. You know, you have to. I believe even when you're running someone's handles, when you're there, you basically they're a content creator, so you have to find out. Maybe you've even proposed or suggested a photographer for them who do the job. Come on, really. Something I feel, you know. But anyway, I don't blame them, but they need to get to know this. Understand? Internationally, those guys when they do it, they have to put they tag. Come on,
because
you have helped me.
I'm on
Maybe
your side.
You wish well for me, but also it's just courtesy.
It's courtesy, really, for work to be appreciated. Yeah. Once they give you credit for it, people appreciate that work even more, and they look.
Also, why I'm saying it's even selfish again, it's more like maybe you don't want other people to use this person. You're selfish with this person.
Yeah. With the work.
And also have a rule. I don't post people who don't credit me.
All right. Well, I think...
No, it's not selfish.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, you don't...
But then if I have paid... if I have paid you, I don't think I should credit you. Because look, I must... Let's say
No, I did say it's a must. I said it's a courtesy and it's goodwill.
I personally would do it. Because I would want more business for you. But I don't... Like you just said, it's not like a must. In fact.
But come on, you have to be good, man. You can't be selfish. Actually, I have to make them feel bad because when you do that, you understand. And for them, most of them, when they do that and you don't give them credit, oh my God.
I get there. Yeah, I totally get
you understand.
In a world where government is not kuyamba buli omu, you as a photographer, teach your government to same in this field or things like that. Government or institutions running like. Some things you feel like, you know what, I am on this level, I am not yet shooting high-end people, or I'm not taking as many flights as I can because in my country and in my region, some of these things are being stepped on by the government. Or they're not, and it's the arts world in general, just don't look at photography, I'm looking at the arts in general. Like, what should be done? UCC, one thing I know, at least for the visual guys, Colin Asimo was on the podcast sometimes saying that right now, at least Maltese is sitting on the board of UCC for content creators. Okay, that's a good start.
I don't know if you have any associations representing us up there. I have no idea.
So for you, what are you looking into? Like, what do you think? It's not like
what government can do for us is, I don't know. It's already done what it's supposed to do because when you're a photographer and you move freely with your equipment, well, of course you can get a few people to do this and this, but the security is enough, man. And I don't want to be an apologist for whatever is happening.
That's what you just did, but all right.
No.
No,
but come on. You imagine you even fear out for your phone to be taken from you. Come on, you understand. So I'm trying to give that.
In fact, let me even not go away. We have seen past recent elections, photographers being beaten, the equipment being taken by the police, and you just said
no. Those are photojournalists.
Same thing, my guy. Like, you could be a photojournalist and you do your
I'm trying to say yes, but you know, come on, there are things that we cannot control. It's not right to beat a photojournalist or a journalist. It's not right. You understand? They're on neutral grounds. If they beat, then that's to the government.
Do you have any scares? Is it why you have not gone into? Do you ever want to? Can you ever take up a gig from like a news station?
No.
Why? Risky?
Like, more like photo. I feel like, man, come on.
Because you know how to take pictures.
Yeah, with so many people for this.
No, you know, I'm headlining a campaign for, let's say, NBS, and this happens a lot. Like, different people call me up to headline their campaigns for stuff. So I would want to work with people I know.
That's a timely thing.
Yeah. This is me. I really work with people I know. If you have to look at from how a podcast is produced from our podcast, it's edited by this guy who is a personal friend from childhood. Another guy I have grown up with. This is the person I am. I want to know that when I make it to the table, everyone that's eating is. I don't want to leave someone behind. Someone I personally have interfaced with. My work, that is how I distribute it. If I get a good gig, I know I'm not doing it. I first look into my inner circles. So you turn that down because you're one of those photographers I know that I have to call for something.
Yeah, because you see, man, sometimes you need to talk and agree. If it's retainer,
Yeah.
or maybe
I'm just saying,
it's a
is
timely
it something
thing.
you can do, or you
Man,
really
I'm a
don't want to do,
photographer. I can do anything.
or you
I
don't
know
want to do
every right.
stuff like
I'm
that
not
because of
everything
what
that-
you've seen?
When I started doing photography,
Yeah.
I've just tried to feel like, let me venture into doing this because maybe I'm comfortable and it's something I do like.
No, do you fear for your life? Like if you went and were going to follow up on Bobby Wine someday, they would shoot you because your cameras.
Come on, really? Who did? But first, there's also this other rule: you go where money resides, man, regardless, because you have to have money in your pocket. Man. Bills have to be paid, all that. Understand? Leave alone this whole thing that I'm comfortable with this. If it comes, yes, you have to do it.
You have to do it.
But come on, if it's not there, you have to do what you do.
So, and you're always up to the task, getting really skilled, and
Yeah, because when you study photography, you study all around. Yes,
Nice,
until you. It's more like, let me give you an example. When you're studying business administration, you get to a point, you're like, maybe let me go into accounting, auditing, economics, and all that. You just pick what, is or what I'm going to do for what. Yes.
Okay.
So when you're doing photography, you have to learn everything until you get to. I think I love wedding photography. Yeah. And then of course you get so much work that you don't even get time to do other things. But come on, yes. But I can take a picture of anyone, of anything. Yes.
I feel you. Let's go into that mark you have to make, and this is us concluding the podcast. This is how we usually conclude all of them. You as Keson, a bad photographer, I personally believe in you a lot. What's that legacy and lineage you want to leave behind? If the director had to yell cut today on you, and I mean God, what's that one thing you don't want to live without doing?
Okay.
General. Could be photography, could be you as a human being.
No,
Something
actually, I
you
need it to be more photography.
Yeah.
I need people to change their mindset and mentality towards photographers. Well, most of them haven't tried to be, I was in a space recently and they're talking about how they dress.
I actually was on
present
that space.
themselves and all that. I want people not to generalize. If you see someone who has done it, not all are like that. We're trying to improve every day we try. But also my presentation builds my trust in someone. You can't just come, someone wants to do this and then you just come for like the way you want. Come on. Because recently I'm going to start wearing suits to weddings.
I've seen DJs do that.
Understand?
Into things like that, yeah.
If you don't have a uniform, you see, that's why, have you noticed production team in all concerts abroad, online, they wear black. Yeah. Sometimes they wear crew, but it's strictly black because it's easy. I personally love black because it puts authenticity and that whole beauty thing of it's neat. You understand? So I feel like you have to be neat. Someone has to see you, they see value, Yeah. Because if you don't see value in someone, you won't trust them.
So how are you exactly going to change this perspective? And this is a mark I want to be from you as a person. Like this has to be.
Well, if I get a gig, I have to see which kind of gig is this. How do I present myself there, so that when people see me, they think differently towards photographers. The way you speak to them, you can't be rude. How you build rapport when you first meet someone and all that. So you have to build that. So every day I go out there, I do that. Maybe people who see me have their thought change, their mentality change. You understand? They change a layer. Maybe it's what?
Interesting.
Yeah. And of course, with time, people get used. Yeah. That's why sometimes they're like, but maybe not all photographers are like that. But imagine the cameraman of where some of them we work with.
But social media is actually helping us on that.
Sometimes we go to a gig. Actually, people believe we are not learned. We are illiterate. We didn't go to school. We are dropouts and stuff. Not really. Personally, I'm pursuing a master's, and I can't go around telling people, "Yeah, I'm doing that." No, but we have to respect people. Yeah. If I'm good to you, that's why I'm trying to do this whole thing. When I'm out there, I dress neatly. I talk well to people. Of course, clients are ignorant, but you have to, be calm, educate them. Some things they don't know, you get. Yeah. Yes. So with that, I believe it can leave a small mark or something, because my ultimate thing is to lobby for photographers everywhere I go. and for our, for us to be appreciated in society and to be seen as an essential group of people in society. Yes.
Interesting. Thank you, Keson.
You're welcome.
So much. This has been good. I'll let you know.